Okay, it actually runs really well. Yeah, so let's get started. I know a lot of people tend to run like a pure build or odd eyes build, mythical supreme king build. I like this build because it's something that I actually wanted to try out, and it's working well for me. So I run one. Wait, I'm sorry if you can't see. I run one abyss actor funky comedian mainly because of his effect, because of his pendulum effect and his pendulum skill. His pendulum effect is once per turn you contribute one abyss actor monster, then target one abyss actor monster you control. It gains attack equal to the original attack of the attributed monster used to used to damn it, I lost my spot. Oh yeah, sorry, until of the attributed monster until the end of this turn. Even if this card leaves the field, he comes in handy when trying to bring out Darkest Diabolos. Because you have him in the scale, you have Darkest Diabolos in your hand or in your graveyard. Use his effect, pop, say tribute, Sassy Rookie or so. By it, then target the other one, say Evil Heal. Evil Heal gains Sassy Rookie's attack, and then by Diabolos's grave effect, you get to bring him out as a special summon, which is really good. Next, I run one Funky Comedian. I'm thinking about running it at two. You can run as many as you want. It doesn't really matter, but I run one of him mainly because of his scale, but at the same time, I love his monster effect because of the fact that his monster effect, if I have if I have say two Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters in my extra deck, I can actually tribute. Oh, sorry, two Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters in my scales. I can tribute him while he's on the main monster zone. Bring out a level 8 Evil Heal, which is really good. I don't really use him for anything else except for the scale and his monster effect, but that's pretty much it. Oh, but his pendulum effect. If you want to get if you want to get your evil heal back from the grave, no, if you want to get evil heal back from your extra deck, then his pendulum effect is the best way to go, which will allow you to add it to your hand once you pendulum summon any pendulum monsters. This is really good. Next, I run the standard 3 Wild Hope. Wild Hope, you use him for his not much of his pendulum effect. I sometimes use his pendulum effect if I have no other way to bring out the level 8s. So say Evil Heal is already in my extra deck and I have no way to get him out. I use his effect to change my other Pendulum Abyss Actor monster in my scale from whatever it is, say 8 to a scale of 9. But by that one I can I do believe it's only yeah I cannot special summon anything else but Abyss Actor monsters, which is alright. I love his monster effect because of the fact that if he gets destroyed while he's in the monster zone or in the what's it called or in the extra deck. No, if he's in the monster zone or pendulum zone, by his effect, you can actually you can actually what's it called? Once he's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can actually search out another Abyss Actor monster, which actually comes in handy. Say you don't have Evil Heal in your hand. I mean, sorry, you don't have Trendy Understudy in your hand, and you have Evil Heal in your hand already. You can easily pop him with anything you can, and then use him, search out Evil Heal. I mean, sorry, uh, Trendy Understudy, normal Trendy Understudy. Place another card in your place another Abyss Actor in your Pendulum Zone if you have one. Then tribute understudy for the Evil Heal. It's a special Evil Heal, which is actually pretty good. The next three that I run are leading. I don't really use her for anything except for synchro summoning, exe summoning, and fusion if need be. Namely, I use her in the pendulum scale. Her effects will come in handy. Her pendulum effects if you take, if I do believe, yeah, her pendulum effect is if you take damage, you can target the monster that dealt you the damage. Wait, no. Yeah, the the one that the one that attacked this one, you take, it loses the damage that you have taken. So say you have a monster with zero attack, and your opponent attacks you directly with, well, attacks your monster with zero attack, attacks your zero attacked monster with a monster with 4,000 attack, like say Supreme King's Arc. Well, by her effect, by her pendulum effect, you've taken the 4,000, so that monster loses the 4,000, which is actually really good. Her second effect, I don't really point. Her second pendulum effect, I don't really see a point in it, which is to add a pendulum abyss actor monster with attack equal or less than the amount of damage that you've taken. Her monster effect is really good if you need to bring out an abyss script right away, which is extremely good. The fact that if she gets destroyed by, I do believe it's by battle. Yeah, if she's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you get to set an abyss script directly from your deck, which is really great. It really helps out. Next, I run three of um, of Curtain Raiser. I really don't use Curtain Raiser's pendulum effect, but I do use his monster effect. His monster effect allows me to send one abyss script from my deck to the grave to add an abyss actor monster from my extra deck back to my hand, which comes in handy when trying to recycle for recycle trendy understudy. But oh, sometimes I do use him for synchro summonings, but that's only when I have him on the field, or exe summoning, or possibly a link summon if need be. Which in this case I really don't because of the link monsters that I use, which I'll get into in a bit. I run one. Um, I run one DD Orthros. I know a lot of people are telling me if you're gonna run a level 4 tuner, you're gonna want to run Luster Pendulum. I don't use Luster because of the fact that Luster will only enable you to synchro, Xyz, or fusion with him for a Draco monster. I don't run my deck based on Dracos. I mean, I do have one Draco synchro monster, which I'm trying to get the other two Draco monsters, but other than that, I don't really see a point in Luster. So I used an alternative, so I went with DD Orthros. DD Orthros is a very good card. You can special summon him if you take damage. Um, just a really good card to use in my opinion. You can use whatever other synchro monster that you feel like. I only run one tuner about it. I run one Duke Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord. Um, Mainly because you use his effect, tribute your monster, tribute any number of monsters. He gains 500 attack. Not only that, but he recycles your Diaboloses. So you have two Diaboloses in your graveyard, and then you tribute use his effect. Use this one's effect. Tribute say two Abyss Actor monsters. Special him. He gains 1,000 by Diabolos's effect. The first the first one, you get a special summon Diabolos back from the graveyard. But then again, I do believe if he is wait, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually target one level 5 or higher dark. I think it's dark, is it? Yeah, one level 5 or higher dark monster from your graveyard back to your hand. Which say you have two Diaboloses in your graveyard. If by his effect tribute to special he gains 1,000, then effect his second effect add Diabolos back from your graveyard to your hand. Diabolos's second effect, well, first effect from the graveyard activates special summon Diabolos, which is really really good. For now, I run two Arima, the Wicked Warden. I use him. I use two of him at the moment. I need to get a third one. Hopefully, I can. Um, but I mainly use him for his for his tributing effect. So this way, if I don't have Darkest Diabolos in my hand or in my graveyard by the time I need him, I can actually normal discard, tribute himself, and then add Darkest Diabolos back from my add a Darkest Diabolus from my deck to my hand. Though I can use his other effect, tribute another dark monster, and draw a card, or I can actually send him to the graveyard from my hand and add a what's it called and add a layer of darkness from my deck to my hand, which is technically the effect of terraforming, I do believe, but just with a little bit of a cost. Um, but that's pretty much what I run right there. Moving on, I run three Abyss Actor Superstar. The reason why I run three Superstar, mainly she's I would call her the boss, the one of the boss monsters of this deck. I run three of her to help with rank 7 plays. Um, and then of course I use her her monster effect where you pendulum summon her or you normal or special her, and your opponent cannot activate any cards in response. So the moment she hits the field, your opponent cannot activate anything. Though I also use her because of another effect, but that's for the spell card. Abyss Script Rise of the Abyss King, which I'll get in a bit for zones. But if I do, it will only it will only be to for the tribute that I need to bring out Diabolos, which is a really really good tribute, really good effect. Other than that, I also use her effect, which is a really really good effect. Um, yeah, people were saying that don't run two engines. I run three different things in this deck that you might find odd, but I find it really good. Next, I run three Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Mainly, the reason why I'm running three is again for rank 7 plays. At the same time as bringing out Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Because of Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon's effect, I can actually bounce. Well, you know what? I'll get into that in a bit. But other than that, I don't really use his effect for anything unless I don't have a sufficient scale. I'll have him in the scale, then use his effect at the end turn, pop himself, then search out for the low attack monster, which is actually really good. But then again, when I do have him on the field, it's only to um, it's only to do the double damage that he can do. So if your opponent has zero attack and you attack your opponent's monster with this one, he deals double damage. So instead of him taking 25, he'll take 5,000 instead. Now, run two evil heals. For his monster effects. So once he is normal or special summon, I can target one abyss. No, I can target one monster my opponent controls, and it loses 1,000 attack for each abyss actor monster I currently control until the end of this turn. Of course, when destroys one of my battle, I get to send an Abyss script directly from my deck to the field, which is a really, really good effect. Very useful. Um, I know a lot of people say run 3 Diaboloses. I find running him at namely because I don't want to draw too much into him, because of the fact that this deck mainly runs on Pendulum Summoning. But other than that, I run only 2 of him. Um, I love he's kaiju proof, which is extremely good. The fact that he cannot be targeted with card effects. So say you bring live streaming. Damn. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, we have some stuff going on. Either way, so say he hits the field, your eyes to try to compulsory him. He can because he would have to target, which you cannot use any against to pretty much pop him with Raigeki or Dark Hole or anything that doesn't target. Moving on, I run 3 of Abyss Script. Abyss Script, Rise of the Abyss King. By his effect, I can destroy as many cards on my opponent's on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters that my opponent controls. No, that I control. Sorry. Um, but only is the fact that if I control a level 7 or higher, a, a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, my opponent cannot negate it. He cannot negate its effect, which is extremely good, extremely valuable. I can even pop my own scales with this, which is actually I find really really good. His second effect, if this card is set face down, say your opponent MSTs this card, by this by this card's second effect, if I have an Abyss After monster in my extra deck, then I get to add 2 Abyss Actor monsters with, I do believe, yeah, I could add 2 Abyss Actor monsters with different names, with Abyss Actor cards or Abyss Script spells with different names from my deck to my hand, which is actually extremely useful. This deck, I would say, is more of a bluff. Then I run 3 Abyss Script or Abyss Statement, which allows me to recycle my all my Abyss scripts like Rise of the Abyss King by tributing one of my monsters, which also helps out with bringing out Diabolos. A really really good card. I love it when you set him MSTs. You have an hold on. I'm sorry. I always have to double check. Yeah, and if I have an he MSTs this card, wait, sorry. Uh, he MSTs this card, then if he what's it called? If he destroys, if I have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in my extra deck while this card is set and he pops this card, I get a special summon as many Abyss Actor monsters as I want, regardless of their level, which comes in handy big time. Next, I run um, Abyss Script Opening Ceremony, mainly not because of its first effect. I mean, the first effect is gain like 1,000, no, 500 life points for each Abyss Actor monster I control, but mainly for its second effect. So if I have it set face down, I have an Abyss Actor monster in my extra deck. My opponent pops it. Effect, I get a draw until I have 5 cards in my hand, which is an extremely good effect. So it's like the best, one of the best drawing cards that I have. Um, Next, I run 3 Allure of Darkness. I'm sorry, I run the 3 ratio, like the 3 allures, cause of the fact that running 2, I just find the draw power extremely low. I run 3 for better draw power. The fact that the fact that you draw 2, banish 1. The banish 1 is I'll banish anything that I don't need at that point. But the draw 2 will help me, like say Diabolus is next and I have a complete board set up where I can tribute. It will actually help me out big time. Um, Best, one of the best draw powers in the game. Like if you're running a dark deck, I recommend this card big time. If your deck is based on dark monsters, like the DDDs and others. Now, run 2 of Lair of Darkness. I'm looking for a third. If I can get a third one, then that would be great. Other than that, for now, I run 2. I love the effects. So like if I tribute, if I would like to tribute, I can tribute my opponent's monster instead, because this one forces all monsters to become dark, regardless of what they are. Um, and not only that, but during the end phase, when a monster is tributed, so say, or when a card is tributed, so say my opponent tributes my Diabolos to get, oh wait, no, he can't do that, my bad. But like, say my opponent tributes one of my monsters. By its effect, during the end phase, I get to special summon a token, a torment token, sorry, up to the number of cards that were tributed this turn, which actually helps out with better and higher plays when trying to bring out certain links. I run 1 terraforming. I would run 2 if I had the third, but I'm finding it hard to find space for the entire deck, which this is a 40 card deck. I'm thinking about making it to 42, but running short on sleeves as it is, sadly. Um, Now, the final one, I run 2 Odd Eyes Fusions, mainly because they will actually help me out in the long run for bringing out my fusion monsters. It's some of the best ones I can do. I'm not going to be running Poly because Poly doesn't have the second effect of Odd Eyes Fusion, where if I have no monsters on my field and my opponent controls 2 monsters, then I get a fusion dragon type monster from my extra deck using face up pendulum monsters from my extra deck, which is good. And that's it. That's all of the main deck. Now we're gonna move on to the extra deck. Of course, before we get into the extra deck, I only have 2 tokens, so that's for the that other effect. Now the extra deck. Okay, so I run 1 Supreme King Dark Rebellion. I don't run the original Dark Rebellion. I mean, I would, but I like this one better because it drains my opponent's monster down attack down to 0, only using one um, only using one Xyz material. And not only that, but he's extremely recyclable if I start using if I decide to turn around and make a Supreme King version of this deck, which I am seriously considering. Um, really good Xyz monster, really easy to hit with this deck. Next, I run Castel. I haven't really used Castel at all, but when I do, mainly would be for his first effect, which would be detach one Xyz material, then target one face-up monster on the field, change it to face down defense position. Really good effect. I'd see you running this card mainly in flip decks. So you detach one X's material, flip, say like one of your flip monsters back face down, then you can flip it up face up again during your next turn to actually to use its effect over and over and over again if your opponent does not destroy it. Next, I run two of Odd Eye's Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon, mainly because of its main effect. When you enter the battle phase, if when during the player's turn, if an attack is declared, you can detach one X's material, negate the attack, then special summon a Odd Eyes monster from your graveyard to the field, which is really good for recycling Vortex Dragon. Now the second effect is really good. When this card leaves the field, you you get to special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck to the field, which helps out a lot if you're bringing out Meteor Burst. I run one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, mainly because of the fact that if see me how I don't run any other Red Eyes in the deck, I can't use the second effect, but the first effect is all I need. So as long as he has Xyz material, you cannot destroy him by, I do believe, card effects. Yeah, he cannot be destroyed by card effects. He will stay on the field, because that's a card effect. Anything that is card effect related, while he has Xyz material, cannot be destroyed with. And you would want to run him in any deck that can hit rank 7. Really good card. Really good card. I run Gaia's Saber only as a filler until I find a better one. It does do piercing battle damage, which is really good, but other than that, I don't really use him at all. Though he would be good if you're trying to bring out, say, Odd-Eyes Raging Dragon if you're running Zhang Ke, or if you're running an Odd-Eyes deck that allows you to bring out anything else like that. I run number 11 Big Eye. Funny thing is that my friends, shout out to JP Delgado. Um, Funny thing is, he thought that this card would have been banned or limited because of the fact that you detach one Xyz material, take control of your opponent's monster. So, given that effect, you go up against Buster Bladers. Your opponent does not have Buster Dragon, but does have the fusion monster on the field that accompanies Buster Dragon to help negate all effects. You can take control of this card. You can detach one X material, take control of his card until he destroys his own monster. Um, really good. I recommend running it at one because I don't see a point in running multiples of it. Oh, I would love to get it. I want to give a shout out to Ruben for helping me get this card. Shout out to everyone and Mark Sanchez for helping me out with getting this deck. Um, yeah, I, I I have to give all of them props because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be at where I am now. Um, but yeah, this card is extremely good. If any of you guys end up watching this video, um, please like and subscribe if you can. Okay, continuing. I run one Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. I can't grow him. Even if I did, it wouldn't really be any point in doing so. But um, I use Absolute Dragon's effect. Once he leaves the field, I can special summon this card. Say I have Evil Heal in the scale effect, special Evil Heal right to the field, which is a really good way to bring him out. Though if he wasn't properly synchro summoned, I cannot bring him out from the graveyard. Though he helps with hitting rank 7 plays, extremely good. I love that effect. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's all I ever use him for the effect. And rank 7, I run one Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, mainly because of his nuke effect. You synchro him, you wipe out your opponent's board, which is extremely good. Now, if I was running the Supreme version of this deck, which I'm thinking about to try out soon, um, by this card's effect, you can, while it's in the graveyard, you contribute two dark worms, special him right back to the field, which comes in handy big time. I run one Ignister Prominence, Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. Only for his first effect, because of the fact that you synchro summon him, you can, once per turn, you can target one Pendulum monster on your field or in your Pendulum zone, destroy it, then shuffle one card, target another card, shuffle it into the deck, which this card actually comes in handy when drawing my own scales, because of the fact that with him, I can pop, I can pop, what was his name, Wild Hope, and upon popping Wild Hope, I can do a double effect. By his effect, shuffle target one, shuffle it back into the deck. Effect of Wild Hope, add an Abyss actor monster, except Wild Hope from my deck to my hand. I run Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon because of its first and second effect. First effect, once it is every time it's special summoned, you get a target bounce one of your monsters back to your one of your opponent's monsters back to the hand, which comes in real handy once he hits the field. So say you have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and this one, you overlay the two exes for Odd Eyes Absolute, attack with Odd Eyes Absolute, use Odd Eyes Absolute's effect, detach, negate his own attack, special summon Vortex Dragon back to the field, effect Vortex Dragon, bounce another monster back to the hand, then attack with this monster. Now, its second effect, so if your opponent tries to activate Raigeki, which sadly this is a once per turn effect, you can shuffle one Pendulum monster face up from your extra deck um back into your deck. Negate the activation if you destroy it, no matter if it is a spell or trap or if it's a monster. Um, Starving Venom Dragon, Fusion Dragon. Sorry, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I used to run the I used to run the Supreme King version until he got banned. I got pissed when that happened, but this card comes in handy when using it. Um, because of the fact that you can steal your opponent's attack, you can steal your opponent's monster's name and effect, but once he gets destroyed, wipe out all special summon monsters on your opponent's board, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, wipe out all special summon monsters in your opponent's board. Comes in real good handy. Now, because you might wonder why am I, because I run one link spider. You're probably wondering why the hell do you run one link spider? Because I'll tell you why. Because of Layer of Darkness's special effect, if I tribute a monster or if my opponent tributes one of my monsters during the end phase, I get a special summon a token. The fact that I get a special summon that token, the token is a normal monster, so I can link that token for Link Spider. Of course, I know a lot of people go for Electromite, but I don't have Electromite. I would use proxies, but I am not that kind of a person, so I don't really go with the proxies. But other than that, I use this Link Spider to help out with bringing out other things, which is really good. I never really use this effect though. I run one Proxy Dragon. Um, the Proxy Dragon is extremely good because, well, only for the linking, from what I understand. Um, Other than that, I only use him to help out with linking for my Link 3 monster. Yeah, that's all I use him for. I am looking for any any con like electromagnet any how do I say it? In any in any condition or any language. It doesn't matter as long as I have an electromite. I'm good. If you guys would like to help me out with that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Move on. In the this deck, I don't find that so, because by its effect, I can actually banish my Vortex Dragon and one of my opponent's monsters for the turn being. Then when he gets special summoned back during the end phase, I can actually bust out Vortex Dragon's second effect, which allows me to bounce my opponent's monster back to his hand. Now you're probably wondering, well, how the hell are you, if you're not familiar with links, you're probably wondering, well, how the hell are you going to bring this monster out? Well, it's a combo of linking together, because Proxy Dragon can count as 2 or 1 material, and Link Spider will count as only 1, which actually helps out big time um, with bringing out Zephyr Metaltron. I was running Decode Talker, but I didn't find Decode Talker all that great because I wanted to have at least more space to be using on my field, which I find a lot better now. Well, there you have it, guys. That is my deck list. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you can, and if you are willing to, please subscribe. Yeah, I'll be I'll click the notification bell after subscribing if you wish, and keep up to date with me. I'll be going live every single time, and I'll go live every time and give you a new deck list, like maybe once every Thursday. Based on how much I get, it would mean so much to me. Thank you.